Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Alison, and I will be your facilitator for the day for the micro lesson on the mysteries of chocolate. I'm sure it's going to be lots and lots of fun. So, I can see that everybody is here. However, since we're a small group, can I ask that you all turn your cameras on so we can put faces to names and get to know each other a little better? So, to start off, I'd like to just have us introduce ourselves, just your name, which department you're from, and then just a quick icebreaker. Tell me what your favorite grocery item is to buy and what your favorite treat is. I'll go first. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you so much for turning your cameras on. Hi, everybody. Hi there. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so like I said, my name is Alison, and I'm in the training department. And my favorite grocery items, because I have two teenagers, is definitely fruits and veggies. And then my favorite treat is any baked goods, so any donuts or slice of cake. That makes me really, really happy, and I treat myself to that so once in a while. So you guys can go ahead. We'll just go down the list. So we'll start with Anthony and then go to Loretta, then Nathan, and then last but not least, we'll go to Nolan. Wow. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing that little tidbits of interesting information, introducing yourself. I really, really appreciate it. So let's get into it for this little micro lesson that's going to introduce you into some of the production details of chocolate. Okay, so in this lesson, you will learn about the harvesting of cocoa, the plucking and opening of the pod, and the fermenting and the drying of the actual seeds. So what I'm going to do is I have a little PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you can see the slides that I'm referring to. So everybody just let me know once you can see my screen. Should be shared right now. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So I just have a quick question before we get into all of this. Does anybody have like a happy memory or something that makes you really, really happy that you remember with regards to like chocolate or anything to do with chocolate? Just something that really makes you smile, makes you happy, that you carry with you forever. So anybody can just go ahead and share with me. Ah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And especially you, Anthony. I'm so sorry to hear about the passing of your mom, but what a nice memory, hey, to carry with you for forever. That's wonderful. So, most of us, unless you're sadly allergic, which, as I understand it, some people are, have some positive memory connected to chocolate. So let's dive in on how an odd-looking fruit becomes culinary gold. So, chocolate production starts with harvesting cocoa in a forest. Cocoa comes from tropical evergreen cocoa trees such as Theobroma cocoa, which grow in the wet lowland tropics of Central and South America, West Africa, and Southeast Asia. So, this is within 20 degrees Celsius of the equator. Cocoa needs to be harvested manually in the forest. The seed pods of cocoa will first be collected, the beans will be selected and placed in piles. These cocoa beans will then be ready to be shipped to the manufacturer for mass productions. So on that slide that I shared with you guys, you can actually see the cocoa pods hanging there on the tree. So now I'm skipping to the next slide, and then we'll continue. So there you can see the pod that's been opened. So cocoa beans grow in pods that sprout off the trunk and branches of cocoa trees. So they're not really a bean at all. The pods are about the size and shape of an American football. The pods start out green and turn orange when they're ripe. When the pods are ripe, harvesters travel through the cocoa orchards with machetes and hack the pods gently off the trees. I'm not so sure how you can hack something gently, but oh well. Machines could damage the tree or the clusters of flowers and pods that grow from the trunk. So workers must harvest the pods by hand using short, hooked blades mounted on long poles to reach the highest fruit. After the cocoa pods are collected into baskets, the pods are taken to a processing house. Here they are split open and the cocoa beans are removed. So a cocoa pod can contain upwards of 50 cocoa beans each. Fresh cocoa beans are not brown at all. They do not taste at all like the sweet chocolate they will eventually produce. So, what I want to know from you guys right now before I continue is, can you think of any other tasks, production tasks, that benefit from careful handling and why the effort is worth the reward? So, if you can think of something, you're welcome to go ahead and share with the rest of the group. I actually kind of have an idea in mind already, and I'm sure one of you will pick that as well. So, you can just go ahead and tell me what you think. Amazing, amazing. Those are really, really good answers. So we're moving on to the next slide, and there you can see that now the beans undergo the fermentation process. Okay, so part of the goal of fermentation is to get the outer, somewhat gelatinous covering off of each bean that you've harvested from the pods. They are either placed in a large, shallow heated trays or covered with large banana leaves to hold in the heat. And if the climate is right, they may simply be heated by the sun with a burlap cover to retain the moisture. So workers come along periodically to stir them up. This allows all of the beans to come out equally fermented. During fermentation is when the beans turn brown. This process may take 5 or 8 days depending on the climate conditions. So my next question to you guys is, what is your favorite kind of chocolate? So I personally love a little piece of dark chocolate. I think it's the best quality that you can get and satisfies the craving without, overloading your body with lots of sugars and fats and stuff. So go ahead, you guys can just go through the list and just tell me what is your favorite kind of chocolate. Wonderful. That is so awesome. I'm sure we're all craving a little piece of chocolate right now, talking about this all the time. So the next slide, you'll see that after the fermentation process, the cocoa seeds must be dried before they can be scooped into sacks and shipped to chocolate manufacturers. In the simplest scenarios, farmers simply spread the fermented seeds on trays and leave them in the sun to dry. If the conditions aren't correct for sun drying, many farmers have drying machines. These are not the same configuration as a roasting machine. The goal is to get the moisture out of the beans without roasting them. The sun drying process usually takes about a week and results in seeds that are about half of their original weight. With a drying machine, the drying process can take as little as a day. So, in thinking about this, learning about this process of harvesting and fermenting and all that, what do you think is another pretty high valued crop that maybe undergoes the same or similar process? I think I have one or two in mind, but I'd like you guys to go ahead and answer. That is awesome. That is exactly what I also had in mind. So chocolate is a product that requires surprisingly complex procedures to produce, as I'm sure you've now learned in this micro lesson. So you've learned about harvesting cocoa, plucking and opening of the pod, and the fermenting and the drying of the seeds. And all of this happens even before the cocoa becomes the chocolate that we all love. So guys, we've come to the end of this lesson, and I hope you guys enjoyed all the information. It's always nice to learn something new. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask, and then I will obviously answer to the best of my ability. That is an awesome question. I was actually waiting for that. So at this point, the price of the cocoa bean is $2.37 US per kilogram. And then obviously it's exported to manufacturers. They then work through it, make the chocolate that we love, and then they add their own pricing to it. And that is why you find different quality and different pricing on different varieties of chocolate. Are there any other questions? Okay, guys, so thank you so much. I really do appreciate that you made the time for us to get together today for this little micro lesson. If you have any further questions, you know where to get hold of me. I will also just send you a message with my contact details. And yes, then you guys have a great day and stay safe and all the best. Take care. Bye.